Hi, it's Suli again, your zebra mermaid, and today's Ehlers Danlos Society Social Awareness Month post is managing your symptoms with Ehlers Danlos syndrome. In my case, I have hypermobile EDS. Like I've mentioned before, I've been diagnosed by a geneticist and a physiatrist, and I have a lot of its comorbidities, the famous trifecta, EDS, POTS, MCAS, and several of other autoimmune and digestive conditions. So therefore, I do have to take daily prescribed medicine. I have a pill organizer. Today's Saturday. I do have to refill all of them today, so it is my pill organizer day. And as you see, I do have to take morning, noon, evening, which is coming up in a little bit, and bedtime medications to manage some of my autoimmune, digestive, heart, and pain conditions, because there's not one particular medicine for Ehlers Danlos. There's medicines to treat the individual symptoms that someone with Ehlers Danlos might have. So yes, I have to take daily prescribed medications. I also have to buy a sodium supplement. People use NAN or salt tablets, and drink lots and lots of water, which is something that I go through this tumbler a lot of times a day. I love it because even though it's heavy for my hands, it does keep your water cold and ice like for a long time, so I can just keep refilling it and not have to go be taking, because I do like my water cold. And also, speaking of other conditions, the trifecta, mast cells, if you can see, I still have a rash from the adhesive of the heart monitor that I was wearing. Thank God it finally came off. I do have to return it today as well, but I am very sensitive to textures. Like my wristband for the Apple Watch was silicone, and I had to replace it because it was giving me a rash. So now I had to get a really cute zebra resin one. But I do have to be taking cromolyn sodium 4 times a day in my water to help stabilize those mast cells and be less prone to anaphylactic or rashes or upset stomach symptoms, which I do get. I am allergic to wheat, I am allergic to milk protein, so I have to now be on a gluten-free diet. I just recently found that out, and that is a little bit difficult for me, but I'm working on it. And anyways, I've always loved drinking lots and lots of water, so that's not a problem for me, especially because of another condition that I developed, which is Sjogren's or Sjogren's. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but it is a condition that affects my salivary gland, like I mentioned before. So when I speak a lot, I get very thirsty, and so I do have to stay hydrated. And on top of that, my mom got me these dry mouth tablets that go under your gum. They suck into your gum, and then they dissolve slowly to hydrate your mouth. I usually do it right after I'm done with the videos to help me regain, because when I speak a lot of the moisture does go away, and it does make the dryness worse. besides prescribed medications, we do have to take several of supplements because we do tend to go low on several of vitamins. I do have to take vitamin D in liquid form, sublingual, because it's the best way for me to absorb it. If I take a lot of vitamins in tablets, I don't absorb them as well, and my vitamin D and B12 are usually low, and that causes a lot of my fatigue. So I do have to be taking sublingual supplements as well. If I could afford more, because those are out of pockets, there would be definitely more supplements that I would be trying, because I know for a fact that there are several of supplements that have to take less prescribed medications with EDS. Like, for instance, I did mention that I was in one of my videos that I was doing mostly prescribed medications at the moment because I'm not working, since I did have another surgery. I've had 2 surgeries this year. We're only in May, but I had my ankle surgery February 9th, and then I had May 17th I had a fistula surgery, which left me with an open wound. And right now I do have an open wound that is slowly healing, because since EDS is connective tissue, we do tend to have delayed healing because our connective tissue is faulty. So right now I am having home care, meaning that I have a nurse that's coming to assess and treat the wound every other day, sorry. And I am going to be starting on physical and occupational therapy at my home, since I can't be going out too much right now because it does hurt to walk where the open wound is. So therefore it is a little bit difficult for me. Yes, I have to get all the rare, because fistulas are also rare, but this is my 4th surgery in the area, and fingers crossed it is my last one, and hopefully now it will close and heal finally. And then the physical and occupational therapy is very important to manage our symptoms, even though we might have days like yesterday that I only did a short TikTok video with no makeup or anything because I did not have energy to do much. It was a bad day for me. But today, like, I've pushed myself after taking a nap during the afternoon to do more things, and I am looking forward to a meeting that I have this evening with my support group. So there's days that I push myself, and having that physical and occupational therapy helps so that your muscles don't atrophy, even because you're not using them, because you're recovering from surgery, slowly be able to be doing movement so that you are not as weak. And that is very important. But it is very important to have therapists that understand Ehlers Danlos, so that they don't make you hyperextend, hurt your joints, have an unnecessary subluxation or dislocation. So that is something that I do advocate for, physical therapy, but I advocate for myself, making sure that the physical therapist or occupational therapist are aware of my condition and know how to properly treat me and what exercises are deemed good or not for me. If it were up to me, my best way to handle my symptoms is aquatic physical therapy. However, right now I can't do aquatic because of the open wound. I am lucky that I can tolerate the chlorine. I know a lot of my zebra friends have an issue with mast cells and chlorine and can't go into the pool. And honestly, I am a zebra mermaid for a reason. I'm a July baby. I love the water, and I would be really sad if I couldn't. So I feel for them, because right now I can't, but I'm hoping that by July 16, my birthday, I can go back into the water and start doing aquatic, and that helps me lose weight, helps me be more active, and helps my overall well-being of my body strength because I am exercising in low impact, right? Underwater, which helps me a lot. And one of the things that does affect me a lot with this is anxiety and tension and depression, because I do have to accept that my life has changed. I did have to give up a career that I'm hoping I can get back to once I'm treated. But these past 3 years has been surgery, recovery, and it's been tough on me. So right now I am keeping my fingers crossed that I will have some break from surgeries and I can do the physical therapy and everything to get better. But at the moment I am dealing with acceptance of what I cannot change and trying to adapt to my my life. And psychology really does help with that. I was with a psychologist. I am looking for another one right now, so any suggestions of psychologists or psychiatrists that deal with chronic pain patients are welcome, because I'm currently looking for one, because that's also important that you get a good therapist that understands chronic illness and not just is overwhelmed by everything that you go through and says things like, oh, but you're so young, because I've heard that way too many times. Unfortunately, being sick has no age. So you could be, unfortunately, a kid that has a chronic condition, or you can be in your 30s like me and have a chronic condition and you know, and look normal. I did speak in my other video and I will repeat it. Invisible illnesses do exist and zebras do exist, so we do have to advocate for ourselves. Besides psychiatry, medicine wise, why I mentioned all of this is because in my last video I did mention that I couldn't afford the medical marijuana at the moment, but my husband was able to go and get me some when he got paid, because I haven't been able to work. But he knows it helps me a lot when over stress. My muscles get very tight, and for the anxiety and for pain. However, I cannot smoke. When I was very little, I had meningitis and that affected my lungs, and I also have asthma, and I've never been interested in smoking. As a matter of fact, I had never even tried marijuana until June of 2020, when I finally got my medical marijuana card, and went to a dispensary and did everything and started off slow. But I do edibles or RSO. RSO is a concentrate. This I use at night when I'm in a lot of pain and cannot sleep, or when I have a subluxation or something that I need something a little bit stronger, because this is like concentrate. This is what they give cancer patients as well. And then I also have somewhere, I don't know where it went, but I have an aerosol spray that I use. Anyways, and that's a quick one just to help me relax, or with pain flare if I need to, because my other option is using opioids like Percocet, which I do have, but I try not to take them because that messes up with my IBS. And this actually is more natural, keeps me more regular. And taking Percocet does constipate, and it is not good for your digestive system at all. And I already have problems with my digestive system, so I try to avoid it. So yes, unfortunately it is expensive, and a lot of people have the views on it, but it does help. I don't completely depend on medical marijuana, but I am an advocate for it because I've seen its benefits. Other than that, I have a body massager that my husband got me for Christmas, which I love, that I have on my sofa, that when I'm really tense I can lay down. It heats up, it massages, it has different functions, and that helps me out a lot, because like I said, one of the things that I suffer from is severe muscle spasms, since my muscles are constantly trying to keep those joints where they are supposed to be. So that's part of my fatigue, because my body is usually on hyperdrive, and when I'm doing things I have to get like active in order to go. If I say that I cool down, that in Spanish me enfrié is like I cool down, and then the pain bursts in because your body's not warm doing things. So when I get, like, if I have to clean, or if I have to go to the supermarket or a theme park or something and I'm walking, now I have to use mobility aids like my walker and stuff, because my POTS has been a little bit out of control. It has gotten better since my last hospitalization, and since they put me on the new medication Colanor, because my heart rate has been a little bit more stabilized, so has my blood pressure. But it is something that I still suffer from, and if I'm in like a hot day like today, if I go to a theme park, forget it, I might need to be in a wheelchair, because I am too fatigued to be walking around as much as I would want to. But heating pads, massagers, chiropractor, now that's something that I wish I can get back to when my wound is healed. You have to be careful with the type of chiropractor you go to. We cannot have manual adjustments, because with manual adjustments you can dislocate, you can subluxate a joint, and they might not know how to treat it. So the chiropractor I go to is very well versed on Ehlers Danlos syndrome, and he uses an activator gun to help align my spine, because it does become really loose and subluxes and out of place, because I've had car accidents, I've had herniations and bulging discs, I have tendonitis in both of my hips, so he does the adjustments on my hips as well. And then I do get a 15-minute professional massage with it, which always helps. I have to alternate between shoulders and lower back, because that's all that the insurance would cover. When I used to be a teacher, I did have a membership with Massage Envy, and I loved it, because it was once a month I would get an hour or an hour and a half long massage, and it would really work at breaking all those knots and tension that I carry in my body, unfortunately. But right now, let's see what happens. Hopefully I can afford it again. But massage therapy is also a great tool to manage symptoms of EDS. Anyway, since I can't afford going to a massage place all the time, or can't be going out right now as much because of my open wound, I do also have a lot of analgesic pomades or creams like Biofreeze, or this one is actually a medical marijuana one that my dad got me in Mexico when he went, because he's a truck driver and he drives all over. He was able to get it for me cheaper, because over here this costs about $40 this much, but it does help a lot with the muscle ache and tension and pain. When I am more stabilized and not getting as many rashes, or if I'm in a lot of pain to bear what the adhesive can do to me, I also use icy hot patches, because icy hot patches last up to 8 hours, but the adhesive sometimes does give me a rash. So Biofreeze, icy hot, Bengay, anything like that that can penetrate into the muscle also helps, and it's definitely one of the things I use to manage my symptoms. Sorry, real quick, Lovely came to say hi. Hi, Lovely. Okay, so definitely aquatic exercises when I'm not recovering from surgery are definitely a great way to manage my symptoms, because I'm strengthening my joints without over straining them, because of the low gravity underwater. Definitely I recommend aquatic physical therapy with anyone with Ehlers-Danlos syndrome that can handle it and don't have a reaction to the chlorine of the water. And then, of course, she came in a perfect time, because, oh wait, before I do say that she came in a perfect time because of my last point, I just realized that I missed the point. I have a body massager that my husband got me, that I put on the sofa. It's also a heating pad. I have several heating pads. I have a pillow that I put on my between my legs, so that when I sleep, because I'm a side sleeper, my back is more aligned and I don't feel so much pressure of my knees going into each other. This really helps, and the heating pads helps melt some of the pain away, help relax some of the muscles. So right now that I can't be going to the chiropractor, I definitely use the massager and the heating pads a lot. And lastly, the best way to manage my symptoms, sometimes you do need alone time and like deal with it on your own. But for the most part, having the love and support of my lovely, which takes really, really, really good care of me. She knows when I'm not feeling good, and she's great. I have been training her as a support animal. She because if I fall, I want her to be able to get someone for me. She does know when my heart races, because she starts like hitting me like, hey, check, like, I don't know how she does it, but she does, and she's very well behaved. So I'm hoping I can afford her training soon. And then I've been training her myself however I could. As you see, she's a really good girl. And then my family and friends and my EDS support group, which I do have a support meeting today, which I'm really looking forward to. If you are from Florida, I do have a Facebook support group called Ehlers Danlos Syndrome support group for Orlando and Central Florida. Again, that's Ehlers Danlos Syndrome support group for Orlando and Central Florida. You can find us on Facebook. We have 508 members as we speak right now, and it has been a great help because, like I said, it's a lot to accept, a lot to go through, and psychology is something that I definitely recommend as well. Psychology, psychiatrists, if you have a chronic illness, because they'll help you accept what you cannot change and grieve and move over of what you've lost, because my life has changed because of this, because of my symptoms worsening, but I've gained a lot as well. So you lose and you win some. Zebra strong. Love you all. If you watched the whole video, thank you so much. I hope that this was a bit insightful. If you have any questions, please comment down below. And also, like I said, it takes a good zebra dazzle to feel like you're not alone.